Good evening, Mark Bailey. The president of the Rice Growers Association of Australia, Mr. Graham Blight, said yesterday he was fearful there might be a major increase in water charges. He said this could have a disastrous effect on the rural industry in this area. Mr. Blight was speaking following the annual conference of the association, which was held in Coliamblee on Wednesday. About 240 people attended the conference. Guest speakers were the Executive Director of the National Farms Federation, Mr. John Whitelaw, who spoke about the aims of the new federation, and Mr. Norm Jennings of the Department of Development, who spoke on the fuel situation. A meeting of the 1979 Griffith Vintage Festival Committee will be held on Tuesday night, and it is hoped that people interested in running the 1981 festival will attend. The meeting will be held at the Visitor Centre in John Darien Avenue, Griffith, at about 8 p.m. A committee spokesman said yesterday the meeting had been called in the hope that a working committee would be formed to operate for the next 6 months. And in February, a general meeting will be called and formal preparations will begin. The spokesman said the working committee could study the Constitution during the 6-month period and would then be in a position to see if any changes were needed. He said it would also give them a head start with the arrangements. Hillston residents are up in arms about the closure of the maternity wing of their hospital. According to the hospital's board, the decision to close the wing was made because of a need to reduce the number of beds at the hospital and the shortage of trained nurses. The board says it regrets the need to close the wing, and it has received a notice from the Health Commission about the need to reduce bed numbers. A public meeting this week decided to form a committee to protest about the closure. A committee spokeswoman said the meeting expressed concern at the closure of what they see as an essential community service. The committee will write to their federal and state members of Parliament and the Premier, Mr. Rann. Hillston Chamber of Commerce and Hillston Progress Association have also decided to support the protest.
Bailey's a turd. Turd features Bailey.
The Coliamblee Irrigation area. The meeting will be called by Murrumbidgee Shire Council.
Yeah, roger, mate. Oh.
The Liberals want to stir public interest in...
Yeah, I'm on the side now.
God, that bloody CV dickheads around the face. Bailey's a turd.
1,000 hectares remain to be settled of the original 162,000 hectare Coliamblee irrigation area launched in 1960. The area now covers 95,000 hectares of irrigated and developed land, supporting 334 farms. It is capable of supporting about 670 farms, but there has been little development since 1971. A major award in the Griffith Agricultural Society Meat Week competition.
Well, we've had enough of the...
Volume 127.
God, it will just give the Bailey the miss.
Great for young or elderly couples. Fresh loaf more often with less waste.
The garage and house are owned by Mrs. Fashin, who was out at the fire, and its contents were destroyed. $450 is the estimate of damage, and police believe an electrical fault was the cause of the fire. In the major semi-final of the Group 20 Rugby League between Yanco Wamoon and Waratahs at the Leeton Cricket Ground on Sunday, uncertainty clouds the Yanco Wamoon team. Yanco Wamoon's captain Keith Alton has missed the last 2 competition rounds through suspension, and Yanco Wamoon's form against Black and Whites in the last round at home and away games has coach Bill Watson pondering on a late decision on the selection of his side. Defending premiers Waratahs trained impressively during the week, and with 3 premierships behind them, have approached the match knowing it will not just be another game. All in all, the major semi-final between Yanco Wamoon and Waratahs will be an exciting game at the Leeton Cricket Ground on Sunday. A dress rehearsal for the grand final in Group 17 Rugby League is expected on Sunday at the Hillston ex-Servicemen's Oval when Hillston and Rankin Springs clash. Both teams have met twice previously this year, with the winnings being 1-1. Therefore, both teams should clash in devastating fashion, and with each team respectively wanting to take out the honours in this game. The Bluebirds will be firm favourites to gain the saloon passage into the grand final, but Rankin Springs have been gradually hitting top form with wins over Goolgowi, Hay and Barellan in their last 3 matches. And in the second last round of Southwest League, Griffith plays Grong Grong Matong this Sunday at Grong Grong. The Swans played well last week against Leeton, and it is hard to understand why these two sides are not in the top 4. Grong Grong are always a tough side to beat at home, and the Swans may be hard-pressed to score a win. In other Southwest League matches, Turvey Park are at home to Narrandera, Area play Gammane, Coolamon play Ardlethan, and Leeton find themselves at Whitton against Whitton. And that completes our news service for this evening. I'll see you again Tuesday evening. I'm taking a long weekend, and I trust you have a pleasant weekend. From Channel 9 News, Mark Bailey, good night.
I used Saturn last year for the first time, and being the first time, I was very careful to follow the instructions and also to be early with the application, and the results were amazing.
Saturn EC, a product of Boots Rural Research. Saturn is available from Rawlinson & Brown Griffith, Ledgerwood & Company Griffith, Henderson Store and Nursery Coliamblee, Riverina Agencies Jerilderie, and the Griffith Producers Cooperative.
Rawlinson & Brown Proprietary Limited wish to remind viewers of a farm clearing sale at Count Mr. A.G. McKay, Dunvegan, Hillston, on Monday 27th of August commencing 11 a.m. A well-kept farming plant will be offered for sale. Further details from the selling agents, Rawlinson & Brown Proprietary Limited, Hillston, phone 23, after hours 187 or 205.
And now it's time for Graham Stevenson's weather report.
Good evening. That early cloud took quite a while to clear in Sydney today, but west of the ranges, very sunny conditions, and that's how most of the weekend should be throughout New South Wales. Outside at the moment, it's quite clear in Sydney, 2 degrees below the average at 13, and Sunday promises to be just the same as tomorrow.
And now it's time to look at the local weather conditions. First of all, the maximum and minimum temperatures. Lake Cargelligo, 19 and 1. Griffith, no maximum reported, but a minimum of 7. Hay, 19 and 1. Hillston, 19 and 0 for minimum. Narrandera, 19 and -2. Wagga, 17 and -2. West Wyalong, 18 and -1. And for Leeton, 18.3, -1. No rainfall recorded in those areas, and the Leeton data was presented by the courtesy of the Yanco Agricultural College and Research Centre. Now we move on to the forecast as issued by the Bureau at 3:30 p.m. For the Riverina and MIA, a cold night with morning fog and frost patches, a mild and sunny day with light easterly winds. The further outlook, winds tending north-northwest and freshening ahead of a cooler change, with some showers on Monday. Tomorrow's forecast maximum for Griffith, 21 degrees. And now the forecast for the central west slopes and plains, a cold night with some morning fog and frost patches, mild and sunny tomorrow with light east-south winds. The further outlook, winds tending north-northwest and freshening ahead of a cooler southwest change about Monday. And the lower western forecast, a cool to cold night with a few morning fog patches, mild and sunny with light east-northeast winds. And the further outlook, winds tending north-northwest ahead of a cooler southwest change, and a few showers later Sunday in the west and extending eastwards. That's all this evening from Channel 9 Weather.
The regional news is compiled by the Area News and the MTN 9 News.
It's time now for your weekly stock market report.
And a very good evening to you, and welcome to the stock market report. The Griffith Selling Agents Association conducted 2 fat stock sales this week, commencing with cattle on Wednesday, when there was a total yarding of 328 head. That was 445 less than last week, and comprised 57 cows, 8 bulls, and 263 steers, yearlings, and young cattle. The quality of the yarding was only fair, with local trade cattle hard to find. These met with very strong competition, and values rose by $15 to $20 on the previous week's sales. Number 3 score cattle and all grades of cows were very formed to $10 dearer. The quotations: Heavy steers, $486.50 to $525.50. Odd to $552. Medium steers, $445 to $495.50. Yearling steers, $310 to $342.50. Yearling heifers, $300 to $345. Steer vealers, medium, $285.50 to $308.50. Steer vealers, light, $220 to $256. Heifer vealers, $265 to $300. And heavy cows were $310 to $362.50. Medium cows, $286 to $340. And heavy bulls, $630 to $685.50. In the sheep section today, there was a large yarding of 13,785 head, by far the highest number for many years. And this comprised of 9,856 new season suckers, 2,960 lambs and hoggets, and 869 grown sheep. This was 4,014 more than last week's sale. A large number of buyers operated, and they were offered a good selection of all weights and grades. Competition was very strong, with best 4-score sucker lambs increasing in value by $1.50 to $2 per head. Lighter number 3-score suckers and old lambs were very firm to $1.50 higher, and grown sheep 80 cents dearer. And now the quotations. Heavy suckers, $23.05 to $24.05. Medium suckers, $22.20 to $22.80. Light suckers, $21.50 to $22. Number 3 light suckers, $19.30 to $20.50. Number 2 light suckers, $16.80 to $17.60. Woolly heavy lambs, $21 to $23. Shorn lambs, $19.60 to $20.75. Bare shorn lambs, $17.50 to $19. Number 3 shorn lambs, $15.60 to $17.45. Woolly hoggets, $20 to $24.25. Woolly crossbred wethers to $25. Autumn shorn merino wethers, $18.40 to $20.65. Autumn shorn merino ewes, $4.50 to $16. I should read that again, $14.50 to $16. And autumn shorn crossbred ewes to $17. That just about wraps us up this evening for the Stock Market Report.
Be watching again at the same time next week on Channel 9 for the Stock Market Report.
The MIA Produce Report is presented by Mario Guerra.
Looking.
This is your last chance to pot the big Gilbert Motors. Make sure you're for the billiard table. This vehicle can enter you in the competition. It's a 1975 Datsun 1 ton, fitted with a 2.31 by 1.85 metre tray body with drop sides and tow bar. Ready for hard work for the full price of $3,500. JNU 761. Don't delay. Call at Gilbert Motors for your new Toyota or top second-hand vehicle. Dealer number 2588.
Fred Eardley has 20% off price on Mellowlight window furniture, slimline Venetian, decorator colours, subtle, harmonising or dramatic. Now 20% off recommended price. Holland blinds, printed or bonded. Bonded in your own material. Select from any cotton fabric. All prices include installation. Get a no-obligation free quotation from Fred Eardley, where service costs no more.
Your mobile agent is your man. He'll move for you.
It's mini catalogue time at Washington. Nandy 3-piece wardrobe is a tiny $229. Gemini dining sets with octagonal table and 6 chairs, a steal at $169. And these magnificent Caroline wall units are only $179. Extra, extra! Due to popular demand, the Ronda Lounge Suite is still only $299. And the Tanya, only $399. That's the same as in the last catalogue. Check out Washington's mini catalogue and save. Stay tuned now for football results brought to you with the compliments of Griffith Building Supplies, Bungalow Road, Griffith.
Griffith Building Supplies, situated in Bongilla Road, are Griffith's leading timber and hardware merchants, serving the Griffith district with all building products. The staff at Griffith Building Supplies include the manager, Jack Taylor, sales manager, Kevin Swadling, Harry Moses and Lou Sharp. They'll be able to advise you on any building material or hardware problems. For building supplies, call at Griffith Building Supplies, Bongilla Road, Griffith.
Well, good evening, and only one round of games to report in Australian rules football this afternoon. Narrandera Imperials move into the ninth, winning with 19-121 to Narrandera 14-13-97.
Griffith Building Supplies, the leading timber and hardware merchants of Bongilla Road, Griffith, can satisfy your needs in Oregon, hardwood, cypress, western red cedar, Meranti, kiln-dried ash and other timber products for home improvements through to large construction requirements. They can also offer pre-assembled cottage frames to your specification, as well as a large stock of various hardware lines in their modern showroom. Griffith Building Supplies is situated in Bongilla Road, Griffith. Be listening at the same time next week for football results on Channel 9.
Bookings at the Griffith Food. And in Narrandera on Friday the 1st of September at the Husbands Club. Bookings at Walton's Florist.
And quality is a must. They're the people you can trust at the Leeton Golden Apple.
Here are some of this week's specials. 750-gram better pasta, 59 cents. 5-litre buckets of Table Right ice cream, $1.79. 4-litre summertime orange fruit juice drink, $1.19. 200-gram international roast coffee, $2.69. 1 kilo Spree laundry detergent, 95 cents. King-size celery, 29 cents a bunch. Sandwich ham, $3.79 a kilo. Lamb barbecue chops, $2.30 a kilo. 3 70ml cans of San Bernardino Spumante, 49 cents. Tooheys draft beer, 7 40ml bottles, $8.99 a dozen. 3 70ml cans, $9.99 per carton. Plus free tickets with every case of Tooheys beer. You'll receive 1 free gate pass to the Tooheys cricket match played in Leeton on the 26th of September.
The Golden Apple.
Canvas have moved to new premises in Donaldson Street opposite Beaton Spray in the industrial subdivision. Adjust the amount of sunlight you require in your home with Brella automatic exterior awnings and Holland quality interior blinds, all on display at Riverina Canvas. An introductory offer of a genuine 20% off the current retail price will be given till the 20th of October. Call at their new showrooms or phone 625264 for a no obligation free measure and quote, Monday to Friday and Saturday morning.
Answers for the 80s.
When quality is a must, they're the people you can trust at the Leeton Golden Apple.
Here are some of this week's specials.
So remember the old saying, kiss and don't last, good cook and do, and I'll see you the next week. Bye for now.
Tune now for football results brought to you with the compliments of Griffith Building Supplies, Bongilla Road, Griffith.
Griffith Building Supplies are pleased to advise that they have received another shipment of Insul wool at incredible prices. 50mm bats, pack of 16, sufficient for 1 house square, $10.40. 75mm bats, only $14.50 for a packet of 16. That's equivalent to $10.87 for a pack of 12. Once these stocks are sold, the price will increase. So hurry and secure your Insul wool tomorrow from Griffith Building Supplies in Bongilla Road, Griffith.
And a very good evening to you all. Only a few results today because we're into the finals. First of all, the Group 20 Major semi-final, in fact the 2RG match of the day. Yanko Amoon versus Waratahs, played at Leeton. The final score, Yanko Amoon 30 defeated Waratahs 10. And in the reserves, Waratahs 15 defeated Griffith Black and Whites 11. Juniors, Waratahs 16 defeated Leeton 3. And the under-16s, Narrandera 6 defeated Darlington Point, Coliamblee 0. Now we move on to the Group 17 semi-final. The game Hillston versus Rankin Springs, played at Hillston. The final score was Hillston 53 defeated Rankin Springs 3. And the reserves game, Hillston 36 defeated Gulgowie 5. And the under-16s, Hay 15 defeated Rankin Springs 10. There were 2 under-16 games today, and the other one was Hillston 32 defeated Witheli 10. In the Sydney First Grade League, the results were Wests 30 defeated Norths 18. St George 35 defeated Newtown 23. East 7 defeated by Parramatta 16. Cronulla 11 drew with Penrith 11. And Balmain 11 defeated by Souths 12. Now we move into the Southwest Australian rules. And the first game today is the first semi-final of the Central Riverina League, the game Barellan versus Whitten. And the final score of that game was Barellan 17-18-20 defeated Whitten 16-17-113. And the second game, Barellan 12-19-91 defeated South Wagga Tolland Dons 8-5-53. Now we move on to the Narrandera versus Turvey Park game, played at Wagga. And the full-time scores, Turvey Park 19 goals, 16 behinds, 130 points, defeated Narrandera 19-13-127. And our last result today, the Grong versus Griffith game, played at Grong. And the final scores, Grong 13-12-90 defeated Griffith 12-16-88. And in the result, Griffith 23-21-159 defeated Grong Matong 4-5-29. That's all we have for you this evening in the results, but stay tuned for the national news, and at 15 after 6 on 2RG we'll also have a full summary of today's football, plus the summary from Ted Scovey of the 2RG match of the day. That's all.
Griffith Building Supplies are pleased to advise that they have received another shipment of Insul wool at incredible prices. 50mm bats, pack of 16, sufficient for 1 house square, $10.40. 75mm bats, only $14.50 for a packet of 16. That's equivalent to $10.87 for a pack of 12. Once these stocks are sold, the price will increase. So hurry and secure your Insul wool tomorrow from Griffith Building Supplies in Bongilla Road, Griffith.
Be listening at the same time next week for football results on Channel 9.
Protect your car with a set of 4 clear vinyl mats, only $6.99. Steering wheel add a touch of luxury. Black or tan, only $3.90. Headlight guards for most makes and models, $19.99. And there's a large range of quality seat covers. For that necessary maintenance, a 24-piece socket set, only $9.99. Something useful for Dad from Access Auto Accessories, next to Tory Toyota.
You were kidnapped by the Arabs. They were hunting.
We have got to get rid of Cliff.
Next episode, 9-10 Wednesday on 6, 8 and 9.
Will it rain? Is it raining? Will it stop? Should you plant sorghum now, next week? Yates is tough enough for sorghum growers, so we've made sure there's one thing in this world you can rely on. The Yates range of all Australian grain sorghum hybrids. Something you can trust. Yates grain sorghums for big yields, for when it's too wet, too dry. Our 2 latest are standouts. Trust Yates research because that's what makes the difference. This free booklet with details on our Olympic Games bonus at your Yates distributor.
You can travel for 1,500 kilometres at Beltrami Brothers' expense. Every 6 or 8 cylinder car sold by Beltrami Brothers in August will receive free fuel for 1,500 kilometres. This deal will apply to the 75 Centura HJN 508 4-litre and it's in great shape. Or this Charger GDF 273, a smart-looking car at the right price. Call at Beltrami Brothers, buy your car and start off on your 1,500 kilometres of free petrol. Dealer number 1335.
And a very good evening to you. Dave Stewart here with the Channel 9 local news. Thieves were in action in Griffith over the weekend. On Friday night, thieves entered the premises of Thomas Service Centre and stole a quantity of money, a TV set and a wall clock. They subsequently removed new motor vehicles to the value of over $40,000. These vehicles were driven around the town and finally abandoned. All the cars so far have been recovered. On Sunday night, several young persons were seen interfering with a telephone booth in Ledgerwood Street. The incident was reported, and when police arrived a short time later, they found the phone and the complete phone booth had been removed. Detective Sergeant Peter Yeo of the Griffith Police is in charge of investigations. An accident involving a semi-trailer and a bus carrying 30 school children 10 days ago has prompted an official call for police patrols in the Hanwood area. Councillor Del Brory told Wadeshire Council that traffic often sped through the area. He said the school bus accident could have been very serious. A semi-trailer crashed into a bus on the main Griffith to Darlington Point Road on August the 14th, but nobody was seriously hurt. A witness to the accident said that it could have been a disaster if the semi-trailer had been loaded. Teachers at Hanwood Public School are so concerned about safety that have drawn up a poster to stay back each day and see that every child is safely across the road. Wadeshire Council has been told that income from Griffith sale yards has exceeded expenditure for the past 2 years. In a report to Council, the Shire Clerk, Mr Moore, said income in 1977 was $28,722. This compared with expenditure of $28,241. Income in 1978 was $40,432 compared to the expenditure of $32,245. However, the position is not as good as it first appears. Mr Moore said in 1978 rates on the sale yards amounting to more than $4,599 were met from the General Fund. He said the amount owing to the General Fund at June the 13th, 1979 were $18,663. Of course, that should have been June the 30th, 1969. The Narrandera Shire Council has held discussions recently with the Public Transport Commission regarding burning off on railway property. Complaints regarding these operations have been causing the council considerable concern. One of the councillors who took part in the discussions, Councillor B. Charles, said he felt that the meeting between the PTC and the council had achieved a lot. Both parties were now more aware of each other's problems, he said. The Commission assured the council representatives that it was aware of its responsibilities and would do its utmost to use the best means available to ensure that railway property was not a potential fire hazard. It was the Commission's policy to ensure that all fires were properly extinguished before the men finished work for the day. However, there had been instances where, due to human error or omissions, fires had been left rekindled. And the Commission told the council that there was a policy to contact the captain of the fire brigade or his representative before starting any burning off operations. The Commission's officers and other employees would not start any burning off operations where the brigade captain had not given his consent. A federal government decision to allow a special rate of depreciation for on-farm grain storages has been described as a step in the right direction. The president of the Rice Growers Association of Australia, Mr Graham Blight, was asked to comment on the decision obtained in the federal budget. Mr Blight said the 20% depreciation allowance was a consequence of the big grain harvests. He said the government wanted to encourage on-farm storage and rice growers supported his attitude. Mr Blight said he was not in favour of the way in which the scheme would operate. He said he understood the allowance would be taken over a 5-year period and it was a philosophy of rice growers that the allowance should be available in the year following building a storage. Because of inflation, the allowance given over the 5 years would not offer the real taxation benefits that it appeared to. Mr Russell Emery, chairman of the Rice Marketing Board, has announced that seed orders received by the board and issues to date for Inga long grain variety were higher than desired. This could cause an imbalance of product mix because of changes in marketing requirements, he said. While in previous years the board has requested growers to grow Inga, there were bigger established markets for Calrose, and a doubt existed whether these commitments could be met on present grower intentions, Mr Emery said. Mr Emery said that growers who were undecided on the variety to grow this year would assist the board in maximising returns if they selected Calrose medium grain. Growers wishing to change their orders can do so without penalty by contacting the board's Leeton office. The Department of Agriculture fears that plague locusts are posing a serious danger to the bee industry this summer. Winter egg layings of the locusts are the heaviest for 25 years and cover a section of New South Wales, a rather large section of New South Wales. The department wants beekeepers to tell pasture protection boards of the location of the hives. Before a beekeeper places hives on a site, he should contact the Pasture Protection Board secretary to see if heavy egg laying has occurred near that site. Beekeepers who have hives in high-risk areas should place the bees well into thick timber or forest areas to reduce stray drift problems. Hives should not be placed next to green crops that are likely to attract the locusts. Yanco and Murrumbidgee Historical Society is out of debt for the first time in years, thanks to the success of the Pioneers Ball held at Leeton recently. The Society is now in a good financial position with assets of about $5,000 cash and its enormous historical collection. The Pioneers Ball was held to coincide with the Hydro Hotel's 60th anniversary and raise at least $1,200. The further $2,300 was donated to the ball by Mr. William Murray, director of J. Murray Moore Proprietary Limited. The company has just announced plans to build a steel service centre in the town. A society spokesman said the donations had boosted funds to an all-time high and left the society in a favourable position in planning for a permanent headquarters on the site of the old Yanco power station. Stand by because we have Andrew Church coming in very soon with the latest sporting results.
Thank you, David. And sporting fixtures over the weekend saw a mixed bag of fortunes, with many codes now into the semi-finals. The Group 20 Rugby League second semi-final was convincingly won by Yanco Amoon, 30 points over Griffith Waratahs 10. The reserve grade saw Griffith Waratahs defeating Griffith Black and Whites by 15 to 11, and in the junior grades, Waratahs 18 defeated Leeton by 16 points to 3, and Narrandera under 16 defeated Coliamblee Darlington Point by 6 points to 0. In the Group 17 major semi-final, that was won by Hillston, soundly defeating Rankin Springs by the huge score of 53 to 3. Hillston were also victorious in the reserve grade, defeating Gorgowie by 36 points to 5. And in the under-16s minor semi, Hillston once again had a good win by defeating Wathali 32 points to 10. In Group 9, the minor semi-final, Kangaroos 31 defeated Young 14, and in the major semi-final, Harden Murrumborough 39 defeated Temora 5. Now, the Rugby Union Grand Final was played at the Wagga Cricket Ground, and Ag College took out the Grand Final, defeating Wagga City 16 points to 9. The South West League played the last round of the competition before the semi-finals, with Area Park finishing the competition as minor premiers. Area Park Marul 162 points defeated Ganmain 70. Turvey Park 130 defeated Narrandera 127, a close match. Coolaman 148 defeated Ardlethan 120, and Grong 90 defeated Griffith 88, and in the reserve grade, Griffith finished as minor premiers. Northern Riverina League saw Ungary run out winners over Lake Tigers by 83 points to 52, and the Central Riverina League's first semi-final, both first and second grades, and reserve grades rather, went to Barellan. In the first, Barellan defeated Whitton by 120 points to 113, and in the reserves, Barellan on 91 points rather, defeated South Wagga Tollendons on 53. Turning to soccer, in First Division, Hamwood 1 defeated Corro 0, and Wagga United 9 defeated Army 2, and Ugali defeated RCA E1. In the Narrandera Centenary Cup Day, it belonged to Tauraki Gary Buchanan, who won the big race on a second favourite, Prince of Indies, and finished with 4 wins from 7 races. Prince of Indies 7 to 2 beat favourite Cal's Gift by a length and a quarter, and with Griffith galloper Bobber Bear a further short half head away. And that completes Channel 9 News tonight.
Well, we believe in early weed control, and Saturn enabled us to spray early, and which I think was a big factor in our crop.
Shire Council has opposed the relocation to Rumble. It is currently